a lot of first years and second year students are constantly asking this. They essentially want to figure out which activities will essentially strengthen their personal brand versus activities that essentially just fill up the CV and doesn't really add value in the long term.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I guess obviously there is a balance between, some of the opportunities you take on you probably aren't too passionate about, or it probably isn't going to give you like a really big learning opportunity. You're just taking it on for the resume. But I think later on, once you do have a couple of experiences under your belt, that's when you can afford to be a bit more selective. Think some of the, I guess, criteria or metrics that I like to think of when I take on a case cop or an opportunity is, for example, one factor might be how much learning am I going to get from this opportunity? Is it
Yep.
going to be a lot of tedious grunt work, or is it going to be something that really moves the needle forward? So one example is I picked a mooting competition that was in technology law. And that area of law is something that I want to pursue in the future. So I think that by taking on that opportunity, it's really going to move the needle forward in my career. Whereas if I wanted to pick a different area of law, it still requires a lot of effort and time, but it's probably not going to be as beneficial to my, I guess, career progression, my personal journey. So that's one factor. And I guess other factor is just passion. So tying in with what I just said, if there's a volunteering cause that you're really passionate about, or I don't know, if there's a job opportunity that is in an area that you're really interested in, those sorts of things can really create like your unique personal brand rather than just getting a bit of everything on your CV and then trying to put it together, but it doesn't really paint like your unique brand and image.
Right, okay. So for the listeners out there, it would be more focusing on your personal journey instead of posting what is deemed an expectation. So like reposting a group assignment would not be the expectation here, rather kind of voicing your own thoughts and maybe a personal project you've been working through, posting that instead over like reposting a group assignment with your thoughts.
Yeah, yeah. I guess, yeah, touching on the LinkedIn side of things, I do see a lot of people, I guess they're sort of only posts on LinkedIn are, is it the com25011?
Yes.
Yeah, that one that everyone posts. They post a couple of case comp pictures like that they've won this sort of case comp. I mean, that's good as well. Like that's definitely a good starting point. That's probably the easiest way that someone in first or second year can really get on LinkedIn because it is quite intimidating or it is quite like it's outside of your comfort zone to really write about something because you might be thinking, maybe I'm not qualified to write this. I'm only a first year student. Why should people listen to me and what I write? So that's probably the easiest way to get started. Things like you got a new job, you want a case comp, you volunteered at this place, right? But that's like the base level. And then the next level up is sharing a bit about yourself going through the journey. So as a first or second year student, you're not trying to position yourself as an expert. Instead, you're trying to show that you're just trying to take the audience along with you on the ride. So that's how I started. I was just writing about how I felt in that first time I went to court. I spoke with a couple of solicitors, how I felt about that interaction, how I felt about my work and what I learned. That's probably the next way to get on LinkedIn. And then obviously the final way is the top level, which is when you're providing a bit more advice and actionable takeaways.